Okay, we're going to go ahead and learn how to find the slope on a table. So I have a table here that I created from time and minutes when I read and how many pages are left, which is my y variable. Okay, before I start, I just have to remember about slope. I'm going to write this up here so that way I know. Slope, okay, is the change in y over the change in x. Okay, so I need to keep that in mind as I solve these. So slope is the change in y over the change in x. Okay, find the slope from a table. What you're going to have to do is you're going to have to find two coordinate points from this. Remember, a coordinate point is an x and a y value. So like this is a coordinate point. 112 is a coordinate point. So if I wanted to write that as a coordinate point, it'd be 112. This would be 3, 9. This would be 5, 6. This would be 7, 3, okay? What I'm going to do in order to find the slope from a table is I need to find just pick 2 points, okay? For this problem, I am going to pick 3, 9 and 5, 6. All right, I've picked 2 coordinate points, all right? And let's go ahead and now find the slope. So what I do is I'm going to use this first coordinate point first, 5, 6. And I'm going to write that in there. So 5, 6. I know that y has to go on top and then x needs to go on the bottom. That's what I need to remember. Okay, so I'm going to write the y coordinate first, which is 6, over the x coordinate of 5. Okay, and because I'm trying to find the change, I'm going to subtract. So again, change means to subtract in this case. I want to find out what it changed by. All right, so I'm going to go to the next coordinate point that I use, which is 3, 9, and I'm going to write the y coordinate, which is 9, on top. I'm going to write the x coordinate on the bottom, just below that the y coordinate that it corresponds with it. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and do the math on this problem. I'm going to do 6 minus 9. 6 minus 9 gives me -3. 5 minus 3 gives me 2. So my slope is -3 over 2. All right. So let's go ahead and show it another one. This table is just a little bit different. Notice that the x is on top, the y is on the bottom. So I have coordinate point -3, -3. So I'm going to write that down, -3, -3. This coordinate point would be 3, 1, 9, 5. Remember, we always write the x coordinate point first, and then 15, 9. Okay, so those are the coordinate points. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select 2 of them again. I like to stay away from using negative numbers, so I'm going to try to use one of the coordinates that have both positive numbers. I really like this one right here, 3 and 1 and 9, 5. So that's the one I'm going to choose to use. Okay, so again, referring back up here, I'm going to do the change in y over the change in x. So to do that, I'm going to take the y and I'm going to subtract. So I'm going to subtract the 2 coordinates. Okay, so the first coordinate I'm going to use is that second one, which is 5, 9. Reminder, I need to use the y, 9, 5. I read that wrong. So the y coordinate goes first. I'm going to write 5. Just below the 5, I'm going to write the x coordinate that corresponds with it, which is 9. Now I'm going to write the other coordinate point that I had, 3, 1, where I have to write the y coordinate first on top, and then the x coordinate on the bottom. Okay, so now I have 5 minus 1 over 9 minus 3. 5 minus 1 is 4. 9 minus 3 is 6. 4 over 6 simplifies down to 2 over 3 because they're both can be divisible by 2. So that's simplifying fractions. So my slope is 2/3. I also could have a slope of 4, 6, but please note that that's just not simplified. All right. Let me show you one more. Okay. So again, have a coordinate point -2, -4, -1, -2, 1, 2, and 2, 4. I know that I don't like to use negative points, but I want to show you an example of one where I use negative. All right. So I'm going to pick a coordinate point that is a negative. So I'm going to use this one right here, and I'm going to use the one right next to it. Okay. So those coordinate points, just so that I know, this is -1, -2. This coordinate point is 1, 2. Right? So I'm going to do the change in y over the change in x. So I'm going to use this coordinate, and I'm going to write that. So I'm going to write 2 over 1, because this is the y coordinate, this is the x coordinate for this one. Okay, now I'm going to put the y coordinate for this one, which is -2, and the x coordinate for this one, which is -1. All right. In this problem, I have 2 minus a negative. When you subtract a negative, it is like adding a positive, so it's going to be like adding 2. Same thing goes down here. When I subtract a negative, it's going to be like adding a positive. So I'm going to switch those to positive, adding. 2 plus 2 is 4. 1 plus 1 is 2. All right. So I have an answer of 4 over 2, which can be simplified because there's a number that goes into both 2 and 4, that number being 2. So I'm going to divide both of those by 2. And I'm going to get a slope of 2 over 1, which happens to be a unit rate because there's a 1 on the bottom. So again, when there's a 1 on the bottom, it's a unit rate. So the slope for this one is 2 over 1.